run away.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Manny here once again. Welcome back to DFS Zone, your source for daily fantasy sport lineup advice for the NFL, NBA, WNBA, and MLB. And before I continue, like always, please drop a like on the video, and if you have not subscribed yet to the channel, please do so down below and turn on those notifications. This way you do not miss any of my new uploads. With that being said, today is Thursday, May 31st, 2018, and today is the beginning of the NBA Finals. For the fourth straight year in a row, we got ourselves Cleveland versus Golden State. And I wanted to take this moment and just first things first, news for today. Today is the day, game one of the NBA Finals, and like I said to you guys before, to my subscribers and viewers, if you were interested in doing a live stream 1 hour before lock, discuss a little bit about the series, discuss some any lineup changes, anything that anybody wanted to discuss pertaining to the NBA Finals and lineups, tonight is going to go down tonight. All right, down below in the description box is going to be the link. There's been a few of you that have reached out to me yesterday, and I gave you guys the Discord. I took your information and I put you in the Discord, so you should be good to go. Of course, anybody else who is still interested, the link is going to be down there in the description box. You're more than welcome to come on in, check it out. It'll be the first time I'm actually live streaming. You actually will see me as well, because I will have my webcam up. I tested everything. It seems everything is okay, so I hope there's no glitches or any problems then. The link below, when I give it to you in the bio, is basically for Discord, which I mentioned in yesterday's video, just to give people a heads up if they wanted to get the actual software. It's like a gaming software. My oldest son plays games online, and he recommended it, and it seems to be pretty cool. So this way, this is perfect for those who have a audio mic at home, or they have the mobile app. You can get that Discord mobile app, and you can actually we'll be able to at least conversate and be able to hear each other's voices, so that you guys will be able to hear me like you normally do live, and then of course with those who have audio mics, I'll be able to hear you and we'll be able to conversate. There will be a text box within the actual group, so that you could be able to text and we can still interact that way as well, because I know not everybody has a audio mic or some sort of a headset with a mic, or they are using their phones, but you can do it either or. We'll be ready to rock and roll, so that will be down below, guys. I hope I see a lot of you on there tonight, and we're gonna just talk the basketball game, and we're gonna hopefully come away with a couple ideas on how to make these lineups. I will be doing lineups, a few lineups here real briefly today, but let me jumping in right now, let me jump over to this actual series. All right, I mean, I don't know how this is going to go down. I just can't see it as a fan. And then I was actually looking at last year's finals, and obviously we know last year. It's a totally different year, but you'll still have to look back to see if there is a chance for Cleveland to win this series, because as well as they have played with King James just really in full control, I don't know if he's going to be able to get it done. I mean, he will go down as the greatest. I mean, right now I think he's probably the greatest basketball player, and I got to see Michael Jordan play most of his career, and to be honest with you, I mean, for what he has done this year and in these playoffs have been truly remarkable and amazing, and I might tip my hat out to him and to everybody else in the Cleveland Cavaliers. As a matter of fact, congratulations to the Cavaliers, to the Cavalier organization, to the players, the coaches, and of course, more importantly, to the fans. And the same thing goes for Golden State. Congratulations to that organization. 4 straight finals is an incredible feat, guys. I mean, any team that can go to the finals 4 years in a row, it's, in any sport, it's just truly remarkable. And none of these sports, any team sport is not that easy to do it all over again. You do definitely have to have a good core group of players, good coaching staff. You got to stay healthy. We all know that, to be able to have some sort of success. But it's been really, really a joy to see some of these things. As much as I didn't want to see Golden State nor Cleveland in the finals again, because I am ready to move on and see some new bloods in there, some new organizations. But you got to tip off your hat to them. So, you know, congrats to them, and most importantly, congratulations to the fans, because us, the fans, without the fans going to the arenas and packing the arenas and paying these ticket prices, as well as being the fans that watch and pay for the cable networks and watch on network television, for these networks to bring in the sports to their networks for us to view. If it ain't for us viewing, there will be hardly no networks providing sports for us, and there wouldn't be that many sports, team sports, or any sport for that matter, in all of television or in all of sports. So the fans, we got to tip our hats off to ourselves as well. So anyway, enough of that babbling. So just a little bit of statistical stuff, man. And usually when you start a series, I always like to look at everything. Implied totals for this game, you got Golden State favored by 12.5, at least the latest line I have. Implied total, Golden State 113.5 and Cleveland at 101. So far in these playoffs, Golden State has averaged 109 points per game, a 47% field goal percentage, 35% from three. They're 46 rebounds per game and 25 assists per game. They are both a +6 and a +6 in both categories over Cleveland. Turnover ratio 13, they are -1 there, as Cleveland only has had 12 turnovers per game. Cleveland is averaging 101, so that's a -8 from Golden State. Field goal percentage 46%, -1. Three-point field goals 34%, also a 1% difference. Rebounding, like I said, there are a -6 there. They have 40 rebounds per game compared to Golden State's 46. And assists, they have 19 per game, as opposed to Golden State's 25 per game. So just the statistical aspects of it, it shows that Golden State has a little bit of an advantage here, as far as we know that going in, that they are definitely a lot more explosive offensively. The key here is, how is Cleveland going to be able to, you know, slow these guys down? And I tell you something, looking at last year's finals, so I was watching a couple of highlights on the internet last night late, as well as looking over the actual games and the box scores. And you know, game one last year, Golden State won 113-91. Durant scored 38, Curry 28. Draymond Green had a double-double with 14 rebounds and 12 assists, and he just missed a triple-double, had 9 points. Klay Thompson was the only dud who had a bad shooting night, 3 of 16, only scored 6, and they still won 113-91. James on the other side of the court, James had 28, 9 of 20 shooting. Kyrie Irving, as we all know, is no longer with the Cavaliers. He put up 24, 10 of 22 from the floor, and Kevin Love 15. The bench guys didn't provide anything other than Korver with 4. They got a bunch of bench guys from last year that they're no longer with the team, like Jefferson and Shumpert and Darren Williams and Channing Frye. And these guys are no longer with the Cavaliers. All right. In Game 2, Golden State won 132-113. Durant scored 33, Curry 32, Thompson 22, Draymond Green 12. And then they got help from Ian Clark, who's no longer with them. He's with the Pelicans. He put up 10. Sean Livingston put up 10, and Iggy put up 5. All right. While Cleveland had James with 29, Irving with 19, Love which is best game, 27, and then Tristan Thompson put up 8 points and 8 rebounds in 21 minutes. So we may need to see a little bit more Tristan Thompson. I believe that there will be, at this point, more Tristan Thompson this year than last year. In Game 3, Golden State won 118-113. Durant put up 31. Klay Thompson put up 30. Curry 26. Green 8. Got 7 from Iggy off the bench. Livingston 6 and David West 7. While Cleveland had James with 39. Kyrie Irving with 38. Love with 9. JR with 16. And Carver with 8. All right. So, I mean, that's how it went in Game 3. Game 4, Golden State, Cleveland pulled that one out 137-116. They escaped elimination on that game. James had 31, Irving 40. Yes, again, Irving 40. Love 23, JR 15, Tristan Thompson 5, and off the bench they got 3 from Carver. Carver was non-existent last year offensively for the Cavaliers in that series. He may have to step it up this year. Durant 35, Curry 14, had the worst game of the actual series. 4 of 17 and 2 of 9 from three-point range. Horrible shooting night. Klay Thompson had 13. He shot poorly also. 4 of 11 from the floor, 4 of 10 from 3. Draymond Green produced well. He was 16 points, 6 of 16. You know, so not too bad, and 14 rebounds. Sean Livingston pulled 10 off the bench, Iggy 4, and David West 6. That was what happened in Game 4. Game 5, when it was all said and done, you know, you had the Golden State Warriors winning the championship. They won 129 to 120, won by 9. Durant had 39, Curry 34. Clay, another bad shooting night, only 11 points, 4 of 13, and 3 of 7 from 3. Draymond Green put up only 10, but with 12 rebounds and 8 assists and 3 of 10 from the floor. They got a really good game off of Iguodala off the bench, 9 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 7 from 3, finished with 20. And McCaw, who's still with the team now, put up 6. David West put up 4 from the bench, and Livingston 5. While Cleveland finished with Irving with 41, James with 41, who put up 30 shots in that game. He had to, 19 of 30, had a good shooting night. Irving, Kyrie had 26. J.R. Smith produced in that game, 25. Tristan Thompson, 15. Kevin Love had the poor night, 2 of 9 from the floor, only had 6 points. And again, only 3 from the bench from Kyle Korver. I mean, so the reason I say all this, guys, is that the bottom line is I can't see when you don't have those same characters. Now, the key missing link here, obviously, is Kyrie Irving. You've seen the numbers I just mentioned right now of all the 5 games. Kyrie Irving produced every one of those games. He was an integral part of that offense last year, and he obviously is not a part of the Golden State Warriors. I mean, excuse me, of the Houston. What the hell I'm saying? Cleveland Cavaliers. Sorry about that. Out of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And with Kevin Love having this concussion protocol and everything, I don't know what's going to happen here. J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, where I'm thinking at is that Rodney Hood was brought here for a reason. Jordan Clarkson was brought here for a reason. Nance. These guys are a little more athletic, a little quicker, and a lot more younger than the guys they had last year. These guys should definitely be major roles in this series. They need more wingmen. They need guys that can shoot. They need guys that can penetrate. A guy like Clarkson will fit in almost not as quite as the mold of Irving, but more of a slasher. He's aggressive offensively, and he likes to score. They're going to need to get him involved, at least in my opinion. They got to do something to get this thing going, because I just can't see how they're going to pull this game out, how defensively. You know, when you look at the matchups even also, let me get here. Okay, this year alone, let's go over to the cruncher, right? This year alone, let's go here to James for a moment. When he played Golden State, the last time they played Golden State, LeBron James, it doesn't tell you here how many fantasy points he did, but he played 36 minutes, 12 of 18 from the floor. He had 32 points. So he had a fairly good game. 4 blocks in that game, 3 steals. He had 8 turnovers. LeBron turns over the ball quite a bit. I mean, this was back in January the 15th, and he was committing a lot of turnovers then. But in that matchup, defensively, they had a Crowder. Jay Crowder was on him for 31 of LeBron's possessions. 15 possessions were defended by Jeff Green, who's probably going to have to step up even more so now. All right, and Jeff Green. We're talking about Durant here. Durant was defended in that game by Crowder, Jeff Green for 15 possessions, and James for 15 possessions. Okay. What else we have here? Durant 15 possessions against James. He defended James 15 possessions. Green had 38 possessions against LeBron James. So that means it means Draymond Green is going to more than likely defend LeBron, all right? And he also was defended by Iggy for 10 possessions. Kevin Love was defended by Jordan Bell, 20 possessions the most, so I don't know where that fits in. I mean, with Jordan Bell, I don't think Jordan Bell will be too much involved in today's game if Kevin Love is out. I think that's definitely going to be a Jeff Green and a Tristan Thompson getting more time on the floor. David West defended Love in that game, 9 possessions, and Looney 9 possessions. Now we know that Looney is a part of the regular rotation right now. So I don't know how they're going to handle all this. It's going to be really, really tough. That's what I'm concerned. I'm concerned with the matchups here, on how Cleveland can pull this game out. I don't think they have the right personnel unless any one of those players really, really step up. That's just the way I look at it. I mean, it's something that we will talk about tonight. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe somebody is willing to discuss that a little bit. I mean, we're going to be on for about 35 to 45 minutes. I figure I'll be on around 8, and then looking to wrap up the live stream around 8:40, 8:45. So I guess we'll discuss a little bit more then. But I just can't see it. I think this is going to be 5 games. If Cleveland pulls out 1 game, it'll probably be at home. I don't see them winning at Golden State. It'll be a miracle. And if that was to happen, then and then LeBron James was able to get these guys to muster up 4 wins against this team, he's going to go down as the greatest basketball player ever. I mean, at least in my opinion, in my eyes, that would be like, I mean, it's just incredible what he has done up to this point. But if he's able to do that, I mean, you could just forget about it. I mean, he's going to be the talk of the news in sports for 2017, for 2018, 2017, 2018 season for the NBA forever. So anyway, all right. So let's just look into it. So they played each other twice this year. And as you can see here, LeBron had 36 and 40 minutes respectively in both games, and obviously he's going to get tons of usage rate because he is the king. He is the main go-to guy offensively on that team. 12 of 18, 6 of 7, 18 from the floor. As you can see here, man, I mean 13 shots, 13 free throws, man. That's incredible. 8 of 13. And then he had 8 rebounds, 6 assists. The turnovers are killer, man. I mean, he's been turning over the ball like crazy. He's been doing that as well a lot in the playoffs. He's been getting away with it thus far as fantasy points because he's putting up quite a bit. But we could say we can gain 8 more fantasy points if he does not turn over the ball 7 or 8 times. But 32 points. This was an awesome game. 3 steals, 4 blocks, and they still lost the game by 10. So I mean, so they lost both games. The first time they played was back on Christmas Day. They won that one 99-92. Golden State, he played 40 minutes, 7 of 18, 2 of 7 from 3, 4 of 7 from the free throw line. He has 6 rebounds and he has 6 assists. Again, the turnover ratio really, really bad, 7. As you can see here in the cruncher, like I said before, they have the format now for the single games, which is, I mean, it's fantastic because you can just group up which MVPs you are targeting before you optimize your lineup. So I'm looking at here, these are the only guys I'm targeting. I mean, there's nobody I'm targeting on Cleveland other than LeBron James for the MVP spot. I don't know if anybody should be targeting anybody else. I just can't see it. These 5 guys are the key offensive guys or the most dangerous weapons among all the players that are playing in this series. James, Durant, Curry, Draymond Green, simply because of triple-double. I mean, he does a lot of the dirty stuff, like I always like, and Klay Thompson. The shooters are Klay, Curry, Durant, and James, and I see it no different for Star, okay, which I have love there. I don't have love in the MVP because I don't think he's MVP, status for me. I think that I would have no problem putting him there if he's healthy or in the pro spot, but not all the way in the MVP. MVP has got to be Curry, Durant, or James. Hands down. And we'll discuss that later as well. Hands down. You guys tell me what you think. But, I mean, just looking at last year's statistics from the playoffs, the matchup, I mean, Durant averaged over 31 points in that series. Curry was up there close to 30 a game also. And Klay had a couple of bad games, but he did have 3 good games out of the 5. And we know he's a perfect GPP play, because he could explode like he did in the last few games here, where he put up 50-somewhat fantasy points and he gives you like 75, 80 in the star or pro position. So definitely, these are guys, to me, hands down, should be the MVPs. And I think the most intriguing ones to be MVP will be these 3. And we go to star. You got James, Durant, Curry, Green. I don't mind Kevin Love there in the star if he's 100%. He's probably not going to play today, but maybe he'll be back for game 2. Klay Thompson. Any one of these 5 or 6 will go in nicely here. I don't see any of those bench players or any of the role players or guys in the rotation that I think I could just bump up here and could give me what I need from the star spot, which is good fantasy points and get me that additional 1.5 extra points. It will have to be somebody, totally that just has, just balls out for one day. And we're not talking about Cleveland don't have guys like Tucker, Eric Gordon, or even Trevor Ariza that, at least every other game or every third game, one of them goes off. I don't see that here. Unless Jeff Green or Tristan Thompson has a 30, 40 spot game in this series, is the only ones that I would think has has the capability of doing that. That's the only ones that I would see here. But out of the guys that are in this matchup, obviously the main guys are Love and James. Like I said in the last series, it will be the same here for Cleveland. And for Golden State is, the regular the quadruple trio here, where you have Durant, Curry, Green, or Thompson. So that's what I'm looking at. Pro spot, same thing, same 6 guys. In the guards position, I would only put any one of these in the guard position, and I would recommend for the viewers that do the same. Either Curry, Thompson, George Hill, Kyle Korver, J.R. Smith, Livingston, Nick Young, Jordan Clarkson, Quinn Cook, Rodney Hood, Patrick McCaw, or Jose Calderon. And to be honest with you, I'm not on Calderon at all. Bam. And I'm not on Quinn Cook at all. I think those guys are definitely not going to get much action here in this series. Jordan Clarkson could be a sleeper because, like I said, they need a wing guy. They need somebody who could be a little aggressive, who can pretty much spell. I wouldn't say it. I would be going too far to say spell Kyrie Irving, because Jordan Clarkson is not Kyrie Irving. But he is an aggressive offensive guard, and I think that they need someone like that to get a little bit of time on the floor here in this series. At least that's what I'm figuring here. This is going to be a high-paced, up and down the floor type of game. Golden State doesn't know how to slow down. If Cleveland could somehow slow these guys down, that would be in the best interest of Cleveland. But I just don't know. I think they're just too high flying and too many offensive weapons, and somebody's gonna go off. If it's not gonna be Curry, it's gonna be Durant. If it's not Curry and Durant, it's gonna be Klay Thompson. And if anyone doesn't play hard enough, then you'll get the hardest guy playing on the floor for Golden State, which is Draymond Green, who does all the dirty work, gets the triple doubles, gets the blocks, gets the steals. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just a lot of weapons. By forward, these are the only guys that I would consider in the forward position in this Fanduel GPP play. All right, so that's basically it. Let's go over back to Fanduel. Obviously, in the MVP spot, I already told you, it'll be one of these 3 guys. We could start with James. He's going to be obviously higher priced here because it is the finals. They got him at $18,888. It's a chunk of change, but, he has 60, 70 plus upside. In a position like this, if you put 60 or 70, you're getting 120 to as much as 140 fantasy points, and you cannot pass that up. If you don't do James, then you'll put James here, and I will say either Steph or Durant here. And from what I've seen as far as statistically, Durant has had a lot of good success against Cleveland, and that's more so because Cleveland really has had trouble defending small forwards and power forwards, all year long, and even going into last year. This is a strong area for Golden State and a weak area for Cleveland. So, I mean, so you figure you put Durant there and then you put LeBron there. Now you only got 82.04. You automatically cannot go Curry, nor can go possibly Green. You may have to go Klay Thompson. And that leaves you with 68. And let's see what's down here in that price range. Got Jordan Clarkson. Like I said, it could be a little bit of a steal. J.R. Smith. Jeff Green is at 7. Okay? He's going to get time, especially if Mr. Love is out. But we're going to pencil him in there. That leaves 6,600. And then you can either go J.R. Smith or Livingston or Jordan Bell. I think every one of these 3 guys, obviously Smith is a part of the rotation. He's going to get time on the floor. He had one good game in that 5-game series last year. Let's see what he did against these guys this year. Let's take a quick look. J.R. Smith had a 21 spot in the last game against Golden State. We don't know what he put up in points, but 31 minutes, 8 points, 4 of 8 shooting. I mean, it's just a lot of minutes. It's just not enough. It's just not enough for me. I'm not feeling J.R. Smith. I'm kind of like done with him, but I would not be surprised at all. He has a good game at least once or twice during the course of this series. It could be tonight. They're going to need somebody to step up, so we don't know if it's going to be him. Not feeling him too much. Kyle Korver did not play a whole lot in last year's series, and he didn't look too good in the last few games here in the series against Boston. So let's see. 20 and 21 minutes in the 2 games against these guys. He was like non-existent. 3 and 3. I mean, It's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure out. George Hill obviously is a nice play here. You know, they brought him here for a reason. He's definitely in a good spot. He's not Kyrie Irving, but he can get you 20, 25. And he is going to be too pricey. He's going to be up here. Where is he at? George Hill, yeah, he's behind Clay, 9,500. So even if you were to put him here, you just don't have enough money to put him there. You see that? Don't have enough money. Unless you say to yourself, no Clay, and you take a stab at George Hill here. I think that would be a decent move. I would consider him there as a pro. I won't go as far up as star, but if George Hill goes out and balls and puts up a 20, 25 spot, that's not too bad, just in case Clay or whomever else we choose right here. I also like Tristan Thompson here. I think this is a good spot for him too. So you got now Durant and James that both are going to be just going at each other, looking to, you know, top one another. You know, they both consider themselves the best two players in the league, as you see in the commercial. You know. So I am going to, you know, I don't know. I like those two there, and then I figure what? The other utility? Let's see. We will have to go all the way down to 6 and take a stab at Clarkson, Young, or Bell. You can't even get Livingston. It's really tough with that price range of Durant and its price definitely of Love. All right. It's going to be tricky. I look forward to seeing what some of you guys think. Rodney Hood at 5,000 would be good. Okay, the prices go a little lower here. They got as low as 4,000. I don't see any of these guys here getting any time. But a guy like McCaw and Hood, I can see them. I could see them. I could see Rodney Hood there. They brought him here for a reason. Maybe this is the reason why. And then all of a sudden now you got a little bit more money. You got 10,000 there. And at 10,000, yeah, you still can get Tristan Thompson or Larry Nance Jr. I really think Larry Nance is going to get some time here, obviously, because they just need these fast guys, man. They need these guys that are very athletic and long. Larry Nance is that. He's also, you know, he defends. He's scrappy. I can see him getting a lot of time. Him and Tristan Thompson are going to definitely be integral parts of this offense as far as getting rebounding, doing all the physical stuff, and trying to neutralize some of these offensive weapons that Golden State has. Yeah, so I could see taking Nance there or Tristan Thompson. Either one of those two is cool. And if you're not going to go with Mr. You can go with Jordan Clarkson. You know, so something like that will work. And then over here, I wouldn't have no problem with swapping James and Durant in this position. And then you have, of course, the possibilities of a Golden State stack, which would not be at all something that anybody should pass up. Not take James at all, and you'll go Durant, Curry, and Klay Thompson, their top 3 dogs up front. Okay. You can do that. Durant, Curry, and Klay Thompson. And now you got 8,500 left. And you can go with a George Hill and a Jeff Green. You can do something like that. I mean, Jeff Green, Hill. And if you don't go Jeff Green, then you got J.R. Smith. If you don't want J.R. Smith, you can go Sean Livingston. He's going to get some time here. So you got 3 options there. You could take off Hill and go Tristan Thompson. And then come down and you got Looney. You could do Looney, use all your money. I'm not feeling Carver because of, you know, just out of historically right now. He's just not getting it going against Golden State. Definitely you can go Bam. Now Thompson with Green. Thompson with Smith, Thompson with Livingston, anything like that. I think that will work. And then flip-flopping these guys. You can be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do Steph there, and I'm going to do Durant there. I will leave Clay here. I don't see myself, at least in my opinion, I don't see moving Clay all the way up here. But Clay had some monster games in last year's finals run. He did have some monster games, but I think I'll be quite all right with him here, and I wouldn't be at all opposed to going all the way to star with Clay. But I am not feeling going all the way to MVP, even though I think somebody won last week with him in the MVP spot. You know, so again, we have discussed this. It's all about being a little different with these lineups. I mean, I can't wait to just do the WNBA with the season, because now even the WNBA, you know, now they have the 1-game slates, and you know, it sucks. You know, I like when it's 2 games or more. You know, 1 game is this stuff is cool. I like the fact that they changed this, and it does help to be different and be able to not have the same repeat lineup as everybody else. So it gives you an opportunity, a chance to cash in the money, but it's still, you know, for me, it's just a bit, you know, I'd rather have the 2-game slate or better when it comes to the NBA. So, but utility, yeah, I would say that you come down to that, you got a number of guys there. You know, we'll discuss more tonight, man. I look forward to that. I'm going to draw up some lineups. You guys let me know what's the deal. Like I said, tonight, we're going to discuss it. Just look for it on the description box down below. It's going to be the link for the link to the stream and Discord. And if you don't have a Discord, you know, like I said, it's free. They got a Windows format. You can go in there to discordapp.com. You can do it also on your Android or Apple phone, and just download the app. And you'll be able to chit chat from there as well. And like I said, there will be a text box, so you'll be able to, for those who don't have any audio, it's not a problem. You know, I just look forward to just, you know, talking and seeing how many individuals are going to come down and watch and be involved in the stream, and at the same time, basically just to interact, man. I want to build, like I said, from day one, I just want to build into a community where we can interact and talk with one another, even if it's just a couple of times a week. This will be the first time I'm doing a live stream. It'll be the first time that you guys are visually going to see who I am, put a face to a voice, and so on and so forth. So I look forward to that. So that's basically it, guys. I mean, we'll go over this a little bit more. We're going to have some time. Definitely, again, me, as far as, in my opinion, you definitely got to stick with the studs here in this series. And, you know, considering that Golden State is really a heavy favorite, I do feel that we should definitely target mostly Golden State players. If you're going to target Cleveland, there's nothing wrong with targeting Cleveland players. I say a 3-2 stack, or at least a 3-2 Golden State stack will work with 2 Cleveland guys. And if you're going to go with a three-player stack of Cleveland, that I can see that. I will have some lineups with that. I just don't see myself doing like a 4-1 Cleveland stack. I could definitely see a Golden State 4-1 stack. So it's going to be tricky, you know, and this is why I rather just interact with you guys and see what you guys think, and then we just, you know, we'll make a decision, and then maybe if I need to make some changes, I'll do it right there real quick, and that's that. So I mean, so that's basically it, guys. So look for the link down below, and as far as WNBA, the next I think tomorrow is back to 2 or 3 games in the slate, so we'll have a video for the WNBA tomorrow, and maybe over the weekend MLB, the same thing. MLB, man, I tell you the truth, man, I was gonna do a video yesterday, and MLB is just 10-game slate. That's crazy. I mean, for all the work that I have to do to really narrow it down to make decisions on plays, even just for myself to do a Major League Baseball lineup, and I haven't done many. I did play the late night last night, and I didn't cash at all. It was the first time in about a week since I last played, or 5 or 6 days. I haven't been playing much because I've been focusing on WNBA and NBA, but as soon as everything tapers down, when the NBA is pretty much over, I'll probably be doing a little bit more MLB. But like I tell any of you guys who do MLB, and I'm probably waiting for one of those videos, you're basically going to get like 2 or 3 top players per position type of thing. You know, I'm not going to go, you know, I listen to, you know, I see guys putting up, you know, 5 players, 6 players. I don't know. I just can't see myself doing that. I just can't see it, especially in a large slate. 10 to 15 games, too many variables, man, to look at, too many things to look at and to research to come down to that decision that you got. Now, pitching maybe a little easier. You know, you definitely want that stud pitcher. That's hands down. That's going to give you the added points you need, or at least the points that you need to get going. But hitters are hitters, man. Some days they don't hit that well. they can go on a slump. Even the best of hitters, even guys like Mike Trout. So, I mean, you know, can go on fire for 2 or 3 days, hit a couple of home runs, drive in 3 or 4 runs per game, and then the next thing you know, that's it. So matchups, you know, weather, you know, I mean, everything. Your player could just, you know, just be feeling terrible and not even saying so they are, you know, and they're just playing out there sick or playing hurt, and they're not producing. So, I mean, anything can happen. It's just baseball is a little bit tougher to try to win on a regular basis, at least in my opinion and in my experience, since I've been playing DFS for cash on Fanduel, which is almost 3 years now. MLB has been, you know, a little bit more difficult to get things together as far as making decisions on lineups. So that's why I focus more with MLB. I focus more, and that's what I recommend my viewers would do too, is the smaller slates. You don't need to play every single night. I'm very picky when it comes to MLB. You know, if I see a great matchup, if I see a great stack as far as offense is concerned for a particular team, I may be in that game. I may be in that slate, but not if that one game is in a 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 game slate for the main. It's not going to happen. Over the years, what I've done is I've decided I'm going to just play 3 or 4 game slates. The after hours I like doing, there's usually 2 games or 3 or 4 games. Like last night it was 4, so I played. They sometimes have like an 8 o'clock express game on FanDuel, something like that, for the games that start at 8. Sometimes that's only 3 or 4 games. That's fine, but when you have to evaluate 10, 12, 14 games, even 8 games in one slate, it's really, really difficult, man. I will have like about a 30 player pool easy and narrow down to. I will have to narrow that down to 30, and then from 30 make decisions. It takes a little bit of work. So it's very difficult for me to be able to say to anyone, I can give you MLB video of the main slate of more than 8 games in the schedule and be able to give you 5 or 6 solid plays. You know, I just don't see it. Baseball is very, very tough. So, you know, that's just me. You know, I mean, others, maybe they have other ways of doing it, and they are able to narrow that down. But I just can't see consistent winning by just making a decision on 5 or 6 players only. You know, you definitely need to have a player pool, and you need to do a lot of research, and it takes a little bit of time to do that. And maybe for me it takes longer than others. So, I mean, but again, you know, I don't want to rant about it, but I just want my viewers to realize that I am going to do some MLB videos because MLB is like my childhood. You know, it's my favorite sport. I think it's the hardest sport to play, and I think it's obviously when it comes to DFS, it's probably the hardest sport to actually do very well in. But I want to do it because, you know, I feel I have the knowledge to be able to help people out, and I like the way I go about putting my lineups together. But it takes time. It takes a lot of time, and I'm not going to go ahead and just give you guys just you know, gut feeling type of thing. Like, hey, you know, I think he's going to definitely do it. I think he's going to be all right. I think, you know, no, you got to do a little bit of research. It takes time. So, I mean, so bear with me. Those videos will come, and like I said, I will do those more when it's smaller slates for the main. And I think I'm going to target more for myself and as well as for my viewers. I'll be willing to give you a video when it comes to MLB when there's only like a 4 or 5 game slate. So something like the after hours or something earlier in the day, I may be able to do those. And if it's a main slate and it's at least 6 games or 7 or maybe, you know, or something around like that or less, you could definitely see myself doing a video as well too. All right, but WNBA you definitely will get, especially when it's 2 games or more. And then of course the NFL season is around the corner. By the time you know it, we got to get prepped up for that. All right, guys. So anyway, that's pretty much it for the video, man. Drop a like, please, like always. Definitely, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. I do plan to have another channel, which is basically to be like almost like a podcast. I'm going to share that with my viewers with time as well. You know, that's basically we're going to discuss just sports, and it's a way to interact, and we'll have live streams of that as well. You know, I am more just a sports guy, so I love to talk about the sports and discuss news and injuries and so on and so forth. So I'm definitely going to have another channel for that. That's, you know, I'm working on that as we speak. So look out for that for those who are big fans, sports fans like me. Definitely would like you guys to check that out when that time comes. That will be also in the description box on a regular basis for DFS videos. All right, guys. I look forward to seeing you guys tonight. Remember, the link will be down below, and I'm hoping to be on around 8 o'clock, and let's discuss this slate, and hopefully we can come out of the slate tonight with some of us winning some cash. All right. Speak to you guys then, man. Have a good day, and God bless. And your boy Manny is out.